What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 5 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Mother Ostankya Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, it was a day of many a battle as we tore down army after army belonging to Chaos. Out here, Archaon led the charge. We took down his army as well as some Norskins and other Chaos forces, while Ostankya destroyed Astrogoth Iron Hand's army again, and is looking to go after Arbal, the now having been defeated as well. I feel like when the AI has Arbal, his name should be changed to Arbal the Defeated or something after he loses one time. Let's see. And he doesn't seem to get any kind of debuff after being defeated. I mean, I guess if it's the AI at the helm, admittedly, it may be not super surprising that they don't do that, because the AI would just get screwed over. But anyway, we're in a pretty decent place now that those armies have been fought off. Of course, Chaos does tend to get their armies back up and running very, very quickly, so we'll be seeing them again in rather short order, and we gotta be prepared for it. Now, between the episodes, as promised, I did take a look at the devotions, or whatever these are called, boons rather, and the ones that we're going to go next with are thus. First of all, we'll go with Devoted Guardians. I want the upkeep reduction for Zargard, as we want Boris Ursus to have his Zargard up and running relatively quickly, and well, every bit of upkeep reduction is going to count, so we'll do that. And then for these guys, for the Orthodoxy, we're going to go with Spirit of Community for the construction time reduction and construction cost reduction of infrastructure. We are trying to kickstart our economy right now, and we definitely want to put the effort in. Plus, and this will reduce the time that it takes to build things, which means faster growth and faster money, etc., etc., etc. I think we were building one other one somewhere. I just can't recall where now. Also, we haven't really been using this barracks, so I think we can actually get rid of it here and maybe make a money building. Oh, here. There we go. Alright, saved a little bit of money and also saved a turn as well, so I think that should work out reasonably well for us. Alright, now, anything we need to do this turn? You know, I think let's get at least one trinket up and running. I've been not doing it really, and I feel like we should. Especially if we fight Arbal, why not? Let's do the Agony's Succession one, which is damage to enemies, and physical resistance charge bonus. I don't know, what other kind of debuffs? Leadership, charge, well, we already have that. Physical resistance, I already have that, damn it. Weakness to fire damage, how about speed reduction? And one more. This one is kind of irrelevant. Frankly, we don't have a lot in the way of choices here, so... I don't know, weakness to fire damage? Whatever. Wait, what? Oh, are we only able to choose 3, not 4? What the heck? Oh, wait, we have to choose between these two, don't we? Ah, I see, I see. Okay. I haven't played Ostankya before, so I don't know exactly how this thing worked. So, yeah, let's create that incantation. Alright, and these things will be on cooldown for one turn, and we'll use it one time, because I'm pretty sure they're one use, which is why I haven't been building them up thus far. Not to worry, once we have tons and tons of Spirit Essence and we're done with all the techs that take Spirit Essence, then we'll be free to make as many curses as we want. Otherwise, I believe we're good to go to end the turn, and hopefully ambush Mr. Arbal and get him yet another defeat, as we like to do. I was about to say maybe we should switch some commandments and stuff around, but I think we're probably okay. Anyway, while the turn is ending, I've been forgetting to do this pretty much every single episode. Oh, for the love, okay, he's going to attack immediately. I'll do it later. You know what? Engagement threshold. We do engagement threshold on the channel. I know it's very, very irritating to go on about it at every episode, but, you know, it is the way YouTube works, and that's why we do it. So, if this episode reaches, I don't know, 350 likes and 60 comments, the next episode will be an hour-ish long as well. Plus, this has become more important now that the campaign will be competing with other campaigns, so it does make sense. Anyway, Agony's Succession. I guess we'll put it on Arbal directly? Although, him being slowed down, well, I mean, he's going to be the longest on the field, which means he'll have this for the longest time, right? So, we should have everybody being debuffed. Should be a pretty fun fight. Pyrrhic victory, casualty side, that's what I like to see. Not as much as Valiant defeat, or whatever defeat perhaps. Crushing defeat would be better, but anyway, go.
You know the horrors of the deep forest. You know what lies in store for those who oppose me. Take heart, for today I am on your side.
Alright, here we go. Time to get a little bit of magical supremacy going. We've got that Omen of Spirits to buff up our spell mastery, and we're going to launch a big old Spirit Bear at the enemy. Right into the enemy Forsaken. That thing's going to hit decently hard, taking about half of their HP with the single hit, and then we're going to pop a nice Witch Brew through the enemy pile of Bloodletters as well. Looks like the enemy Chaos Knights of Khorne with lances get annoyed at that and will give charge. But unfortunately for them, the hags are faster, and they do fairly decent damage. All of the damage done to the Chaos Knights so far has been of the range damage variety from Ostankya and her hag witches, hag daughters, and not from any spells or anything of that nature. Neriska the Golden Knight holds the defensive line together with the rest of our units, looking absolutely glorious as she does. You gotta love that armor. And once again, we'll definitely get her some Griffin Legion when she inevitably eventually joins the Ice Court to fight with Serena Catrin, though admittedly not that Serena Catrin really needs it. Anyway, looks like the enemy is now giving chase to our hags, and we're gonna have to hag, or we're gonna have to help them out, or rather we're gonna have to hag. We've always been hagging. The spiders are gonna move on in. Of course, the Ostankya will help them out a little bit. And as the spiders distract the enemy, the Mordheim Beowulfs and the other units of things in the woods hit the enemy as well. Lovely. I'd wager Mr. Arbol is still smarting from his last defeat when he got eaten by spiders. And I'm sure he'll be smarting from this one as well, if he even has the opportunity to recover. Now, the enemy is a big old blob of enemies has arrived. We're going to summon the units of things in the woods, the ethereal things in the woods, to block the enemy off. Just distract them a little bit while we rearrange or reposition our things in the woods, our spiders, and our hag daughters as well. The main enemy line, such as it is well, actually looks to be concentrated on the enemy flank rather than in our center, which is kind of interesting, but all good. Alrighty, and here comes the big boy. The thing in the woods working together with the spiders to obliterate something in this damn effect for the poison. Why? Who designed this? Alright, once again, only two armies with this, and we're going to reduce the number of spiders in Ostankya's army, even though I do really love the spiders. If I had known that this effect looked like this, I probably wouldn't have, once again, built it. Anyway, not a big deal, at least I hope. I hope it doesn't annoy everybody too much. And if anybody knows a mod that will make this particular effect go away, please let me know. Like, I'm almost tempted to learn how to mod just to do it myself, because, yeah, that and the Skaven web effect. Both are way too much. I'm honestly surprised that this isn't taken away by the less effects thing, because it does take things away like the Forge Fire Aura from Dwarfs, which is a rather innocuous effect by comparison, wherein you can actually tell what the heck is going on. Anyway, how are we doing out here? Bounce Power's at about 70% in our favor. Arbol has only now finally moved in, and that's just fine, as it's easier for him to come to us, as Neriska will have taken absolute ages to move towards the enemy lord. I do like the sort of horror type of army that we've got going on here. Too bad that Ostankya doesn't have some kind of unique, like, I don't know, unique Kossar-like unit or something like that, but it's just empty armor with spiders inside, like little tiny spiders. Basically like the Thousand Suns, but spiders. It'd be pretty neat. Anyway, how are we doing otherwise? The spawn of Khorne are in trouble, the Khorngors are in trouble, pretty much everybody is in trouble. Arbol has already been defeated by a combination of the Golden Knight and the thing in the woods, and it looks like the enemy army is very much on its way out. Not that you could really tell due to the frickin' poison effect all over everything. I mean, you can still see through it if you zoom in really close. I just really gotta remember to do that. It's a little bit of a matter of my sort of habits with the way that I control the camera and look at the battlefield. I just gotta adjust it a little bit for this particular campaign, so that this effect doesn't ruin the visuals too much. Anyway, it looks like with Arbal having broken and most of his forces having been destroyed, the battle is ours. I believe Arbal was chased down, and only a couple of units of Spawn of Khorne remain. Of course, they are still completely surrounded by spiders and the Mordheim Beowulfs here. And I also can't wait to get a few more things in the woods in the army. Love watching those bigger enemies, rather, go down under the sort of skittering swarm of spiders. And then there was 2, and then there was 1, and then there was none. There we are. Alrighty. And why is there 1 corn gore there? I was like, what the heck? I think it was just a unit that got trapped in the blob of spiders, which is not a place that you want to get trapped in. Anyway, a lovely little fight for Ostankya, and probably the last time she'll at least personally have to fight Arbal, if we even encounter Arbal again. I gotta double check how many territories he has, because we should be able to take most of them rather quickly after this. Alright, there we go. Solid fight for us, and not so solid for poor Arbal. I guess, despite all the champions that he has slain, well, spiders were ultimately his undoing. What do we have here? 2,000 gold, eh? That's pretty darn solid, and the healing isn't crazy, so I think we'd rather have the 2,000 gold. And ooh, we just got, we went over 15k, meaning we should get, well, at least the quest completed for unlocking Ulrika. I don't know whether it'll actually, well, fully unlock her. But anyway, Arachnophobia for 13k damage. Looks like they took home the prize this time around. And, okay, well, Growl of the Grove, but we can't really compare the Akshina and the things in the woods as yet, as we don't have enough of them to do so. Anyway, pardon the captives, as, once again, strange as that is. Alright, let's see if anybody else will attack us. We did have a Norscan army moving in, and it is a distinct possibility that they will be able to land, and therefore Mr. I forgot his name will have to fight for his life, as Boris is not quite near. Oh, and it looks like they weren't able to land. And just very, very close. And would you do something? You know what's going to happen? We're going to basically defeat all of these guys, and as soon as they're all defeated, then these guys are going to start taking territory. That's what's going to happen, because that's the way the AI always plays it. Useless until it's time to compete with the player. Anyway, it looks like Ulrika is unlocked. Lovely. Ulrika the Vampire. Upon gaining entry into Nachthofen Castle, you discover that it indeed harbors the vampire Ulrika Magdova Straghoff and her mentor Countess Gabriella. While both are incredibly strong in their own right, Ulrika's lack of control has caught up with her, causing the two to be backed into a corner and outmatched by the adversary before them. Let me fight them, Ulrika snarls, her fangs bared and swords unsheathed. I've bested greater warriors in single combat. I will not be found wanting for... Before she can continue, Gabriella swiftly steps forward to present another option. Let them go, for Ulrika was turned against her will by a vampire countess. Gabriella continues, explaining that she was fulfilling a promise to train the young vampiress to do no harm. Anyway, the story seems genuine, but can such creatures of the night be trusted? The Sisterhood, who play the games of political misdirection? No, it is clear what must be done. Anyway, we will obviously recruit her. There are plenty of vampires. In fact, there are tons of vampires in Kislev. They even had a vampire con queen. So this makes the most sense for Kislev out of most of the factions that can recruit Ulrika. So recruit her. Alright, and oh, she's gonna spawn here, which ain't great because she doesn't really have room in the army of Ostankya. I suppose just to get XP, what we could do is we could replace this one unit of little spider hatchlings. We have way too many heroes in this area. They're just here to leech XP until they're transferred to other armies. But for now, I guess that's what we gotta do, eh? Yeah, it looks like we won't be able to reach Carrick Doom anyway. And hey, unlocks the Empowered Purification Chant Hex. Lovely. Take from the Skull Takers. Capture and occupy Carrick Doom. Sure thing. Frozen Heart unlocked. Onward into Glory Ride. Clearly, though Ulrika and Gabrielle are no friends of the Ruinous powers, which are incidentally my favorite powers, they cannot be allowed to act of their own accord. Ulrika will not return to Nachthafen Castle, but will instead continue her training in our service. While many are unhappy with this decision, perhaps she will find redemption through fighting our enemies, or peace in a noble death. True death. Anyway, yeah, sorry little spiderlings, we'll get others of your ilk, of your silk, into other armies. Oh, she gives increased mobility, that's also quite nice. This is gonna hurt when we auto-resolve it, but whatever. It is what it is, gotta do what you gotta do. How many spiders? Oh, okay, fine. Make me look like a fool, game. Thanks. I guess we take the money. I'm almost tempted to do the movement range, but I think it doesn't work. I mean, we could give it a try. It's not a lot of loss of money, so do this once, and we'll go for you and do the same thing, and we'll see if we can still reach, if we can afterwards reach Carrick Doom. I don't think so, and it's going to cost us 600 gold, but yeah, I can't reach it. That doesn't really help, unfortunately. I'd love to channel, but we would otherwise suffer attrition here in this territory, so we'll just go right here and hit Carrick Doom next turn. Alright, enemy killed in battle, and hello. And Gastuva's Egg. Entities cannot die while ability is active. That's interesting. Unbreakable, invulnerable, and cannot move. For 33 seconds, so this is... where would this be really, really useful? I feel like in an emergency we could use that on the Warbear Riders or something like that, so we'll maybe give this to... oh. You know, let's have this Patriarch hold it for... oh, right, as a channeling item. Fine, we'll have you hold it, but we're gonna get a different witch in this army. Speaking of, you... I guess we're gonna go with Glacial Blaster again, because it's just better than all the rest by a mile. Yeah, go Storm. Everybody gets Storm. I kind of don't like the fact that it's making me do the same thing for every single one, since the others seem so vastly inferior, but it is what it is. Let's see what we got here. We've completed Cleansed Earth, and we're frankly about to use it. We should continue into Gospodar Governance for that construction cost for capitals. Ah, it's so much, and it's so good. The rest of you are fine. I also did make a decision about this. Instead of going for Wild Keeper and getting that additional vigor loss reduction for things in the woods, I instead decided to start going for Mother Knows Best on all of our hag witches. Not for the character, or not for the potions or magical attacks, which is actually nothing, but for the character experience gain here, because we'll obviously be getting the most experience on Mother Ostankya, and she'll be wanting to transfer as much as possible of it to our... to other... let's get Forbidden Fens because we can cast it at one cost. To other lords. And we still need to get her another hag witch in there. In fact, wait, let me just see what we got here. I did want to get a second hag witch of beasts in her army for the summons. However, I think since we have 3 strong hag witches, maybe we just keep with the strong thing. Although I do like the cunning thing as well, I will admit. And these guys have no effects on their attacks. And I suppose if we're taking out the... I don't know whether we should remove the one with shadows as well. And put it in another army. It's a distinct possibility as well. Oh, I guess once we capture Carrick Doom, we could do that, or we could just summon one here. You know, let's go with the cunning one. At the end of the day, we could always also delete her if needed, but I'm on to all 4 on field, and that's yet another hero that's gonna go into this army. Yeah, Ritual Enforcer is fine. We'll deal with this in a second. And just out of curiosity, how much XP did you gain from that? Oh, just the 1 level? Oh, come on, man, come on. You do better than that. Let's also check heroes. What do we have here? Confident, Vanguard, and Fleet-footed. We are already training a Frost Maiden, so I guess we're going to be building now. Hell Pit. Still 3 turns until we get this up and running, though. Well, start with that market square, just generate as much money as you can. Maybe we wait on this? It's not like Helpit will really give us much of anything right now. We will, however, start building up these stud farms here. And I am curious about this. Now, the Hallowed Forest says income from farms plus 30% local province. What it used to do was say local, or things used to say local region to indicate that it's not in the entire province. So I'm hoping that a single hallowed wood will buff both of these farms. If it doesn't, that means it's not actually worth building, because it'll only buff one farm and that'll only give us like an extra 30 gold, which is just garbage. And we're in fact better off than building Silent Groves, which give us 100 plus gold per thing, as well as capacity for hag witches. But I would like to see what it does here, especially since this is our current big money-making province, though it may not always be so. Wait, wasn't this? Oh, I never upgraded you to level 2, did I? I mean, I guess it doesn't really do too much for us right now anyway. And we're probably going to delete it for a hallowed. Just leave it alone then. Temple of Heimkel, yes to the iron mining pit, obviously, and that's it. That's pit. Huh, we can't afford the hell pit thing. Maybe we should just start on it. Yeah, fine. It's a lot of money, but at the same time we can deal. Then, the next thing that we'll want to do is this. First of all, you were supposed to become a Streltsy. Then, you know, I probably could have recruited some stuff over the previous end turn. These four we were going to turn into Zargard for Boris Ursus. And I'm kind of still thinking that we do. They are going to be a lot more expensive, that's the problem. But I do feel like Boris needs to have the core of his army. We'll put a bunch of basic troops with him to combine with them, but until then... And then we can start turning these guys into Cossars. Yeah, alright, fine. We'll do 2 Shielded Zargard. And 2... Oh, one of them only. Alright, fine. We'll wait until this guy will ranks up to rank 6, because apparently you need to be rank 6 for them. Fair enough. 2 Cossars, 2 Zargard. Works for me. And I don't think anything else in this army needs to be upgraded. These guys are going to become Akshina most likely. And... ooh, hello. You are going to be our first Winged Lancer. Our stupidly expensive first Winged Lancer, but hey, one of the dervishes did manage to survive, at least to make it to 2 Winged Lancers. And since you're our first one, you have to be named Winged Hussars. Also the first one in the Serena Catherine campaign. And oh, that did take our movement range, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Go after this guy, please. Should be able to wipe him out with decent ease, I think. And oh, is he stuck? It's not a horrible Norscan army. I still think we should fight. We do have Zargard in this army now, though funnily enough they might actually be less buffed than the armored Kossars are, because they don't have that firing drills buff anymore. But it is what it is, and what it is fight time.
Think of your partners, your children, your proud homeland. This is why we fight.
Alright, yeah, sure, that's why we fight, or maybe we just fight to see spiders and bears destroy things. Anyway, here we go, another little nice fight against the Norskins. Once again, they brought 4 trolls. It seems like every single army of the Norskins, and I think Chaos as well, has brought about 4 trolls with them. I wonder if it's an adjustment to the algorithm of how the enemy builds their armies. Still, I do like balanced armies, and I appreciate that from the AI. This is also going to be the debut of more of our units of Zargard, our first units of Zargard, who do look pretty darn nice. And we'll see if they kill pretty darn nice as well. Of course, they don't have their buffs yet because Boris is busy with other things, but they'll get there eventually. Anyway, first of the enemy is going to start taking hits and shots. Arrows, pistols, and gunfire from all of those Streltsy. Norskins ain't going to have a great time on the approach, and the first of the enemy marauders with great weapons have already been pretty much destroyed. Next unit will move forward, but of course that does mean the unit of Boydanov's brawlers will switch their targets, and another unit will get suppressed and slain slowed down. There is a unit of the Marauder Champions in here, which we gotta be wary of, however, and perhaps I should have targeted them instead of the Trolls, as there is a decent likelihood that they're gonna be scarier. But on the bright side, the Trolls do have terrible leadership and will start routing rather quick. As the enemy melee units have arrived, we're going to react to that by sending in the Daja's Hearthblades with those burning and great swords of theirs. Especially because the Trolls don't like fire with that fire weakness that they've got. Does look like a decent amount of enemies are hitting our left flank, however, so we're going to help out a little bit by dropping a hailstorm upon them, and then trying to hold them off with the unit of Zargard and whatever we can send on in. Boris, I believe, has done heavy damage to the Skin Wolves here, together with the Oath Brothers of Tor, and by the looks of it, the enemy army is very much in bad shape. Once again, I didn't bother waiting for the reinforcements. Yeah, we could have used them and whatever, but it's not like we needed them for a single stack, and it's not like it's led by Archaon or anything like that, so we're good. Ooh, Marauder Champions versus Zargard. Actually a pretty nice little duel between these two units. Although I'd wager the Marauder Champions with great weapons do have the advantage here. I would have loved to see the Daja's Hearthblades, or generally a Zargard with great weapons, rather, face off against them. Might have been interesting. But anyway, it looks like most of the enemy army is in horrible shape now, and Boris has arrived to stand with his Zargard on the front line and face off against the rest of the enemy Marauders. All the while chasing down the enemy Marauder Chieftain. By the looks of it, the enemy should be shattering very shortly, and thus we can send in our cav a little bit. Hey, and this is our first unit of Winged Lancers. They may be weaker than Griffin Legion and Warbear Riders, but they are absolutely not to be underestimated. A single unit of, it was in the Tsarina Katrin campaign, but we used a single unit of Winged Hussars to just obliterate so many enemies over the course of that campaign that I had to keep the unit around. Alright, and there we are. It looks like with that, the Norscan army will shatter, and that's why we brought the cav, because they're going to be a lot faster than the, well, slow-moving Zargard and armored Kossars, and we're going to want to chase as much of the enemy army down as possible. Beautiful. Fun fight, and more XP and all that for Mr. Boris Ursus. Alrighty, a lovely fight, and we didn't even need to use the reinforcing army, which allowed our main stack to shine a little bit more, a little bit of XP on the Zargard there, and it looks like you hit level 6, meaning you can be upgraded as well. Decent bit of healing versus decent bit of cash. It is a lot of healing, and if we're in range, we might be able to go after that island, so maybe we'll actually heal this time. Better than wasting the move, I'm thinking. Depending. We'll see. Now, Boris, can you actually reach it? You can, meaning we can use Borid and Rybkin to go after this little stack. And, oh, damn, I should have kept Boris in range. Wait. You're here. Oh, wow, you kid. Did you really have to run that far away, dude? What the heck? Another Kislev Kossar. Okay, these go on Lords. Boris, go into the settlement. Then, I think you should be reinforcing. If the settlement can reinforce, you can reinforce too, right? Just to leech the XP. Yes. Beautiful. And then go here. Auto-resolve. And nobody should have died, and then we'll take the tiny bit of you know what? Sacrifice the captives for the +5 devotion this turn. And hey, an iron ice armor, that's a nice pickup. Lots and lots of debuffs. Yeah, Kislev has a lot of debuff items, which is always really nice when you get to find some of them. Boris, you're going to leave the settlement. It'll cost us 500 gold per turn, unfortunately, but it is what it is. And you'll sail to the wreck, and as much as I would love to fight the Vampire Coast, since we haven't fought them yet, we will auto-resolve. And you'll heal to full next turn once you go back to our own territory, so I guess for this we'll take the cash. Especially since we wanted to move, so we had to fight this here. Alright, Another tax collector, a steel standard could be useful. A student also could be useful. Lost cargo, nice find, Boris. Already paying for yourself, sir. And a new trinket available as well. Not that it's super critical right now, Boris. If you go into March stance, you can still reach Frozen Landing. Oh, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And then you're gonna sit here. We're gonna need to recruit some more basic troops for you. I guess let's do... Wait, do you have any basic... Okay, you have 3 of these guys, meaning let's do 1, 2, 3. We need to replace the Cossars. You... Not quite ranked up yet, eh? What about you? No. Gonna get to those winged lancers. Gonna get to those winged lancers hopefully soon. You're gonna join the army. Anybody else need to do anything? I think we did everything else unless I'm mistaken, eh? Yeah, I think so. Minus the level up on you. Let's get you your first point into Watchman, and wait. Yeah, your first point into Watchman, and then we gotta just get Foreman up and running as fast as possible. Otherwise, I believe we're good, assuming that there's no diplomacy to do. Imperial Wardens, correct, Kadrin... Huh. Well, that's interesting. They only have 3 territories and 2... Oh, just the 1. Kazir Kolaz and... Correct, Kadrin... Huh. But they're only at war with Bone Rattlers. How do they have no territory? Interesting. Well, I don't know what's causing Ungrim a headache, but something clearly is. Anyway, otherwise, I believe we are good. We do still need to reset Boris. Is this the time to do it, is the question. Because his army is here. We could replace him with this guy, because he's available. Well, this guy is still going to be 2 turns and is level 9. Yeah, maybe this is the time to reset, because we're not going to be using firing drills in Boris's army, most likely. Definitely best of the court for his Zargard, and then creatures of the land for the other stuff. It'll be unfortunate to lose some stuff here for the few turns that he's gone, but it is what it is. What is this? Allowed +1 greater tier difference? Oh, that's really nice as well. And diplomatic relations. Man, Boris has some good stuff. He has some good stuff, but will we have to reset him eventually? He also has the leader of renown, meaning we could recruit stuff cheaper. Oh, right, we have the frost rooms available. And the bears. I really wish the ice bears weren't just straight up better than the regular bears, but, you know, but it's kind of like real life, so... They should be different tiers then, if that's the case. Although there is a slight difference in unit number, I think it should be more pronounced, maybe 12 and 24, or something along those lines. But, yeah, we're not going to use you to recruit right now, we'll reset you. So, for now, Boris, reset all skill points. It's not like his skill points are horrible, but, you know. Yes, reset. And then we'll put this guy into this army. And just to double check, you have a pit fighter. Don't bother with that, because we're probably not going to keep you on field, generally speaking. Alright, and the rest of you are good to go, right? Right, alright. You guys sit there for a bit, otherwise we are ready to end the turn. So skip and end, and we'll see if anything comes of any of this. Oh, damn, I forgot to use the hex. Okay, we'll use it next turn. Oh, Arbol. Now you want peace. That's not happening, bud. Looks like these guys have another army. We saw, I think, 2 of their armies sailing around, so they'll probably keep sending full stacks down towards us until we wipe them out or cause them a bit of a headache. But I'm sure we will, sooner rather than later. Next, Hex Purification Chant right here on... Oh, settlement belonging to you. Okay, fine. This settlement's about to belong to us then. Like so. And, oh, hopefully the auto-resolve lets us do this. Yeah, it lets us do this. The garrison here is kind of trash. Still gonna hurt our spiders, but we've come to expect that at this point. And just capture it at tier 3? Or 2? 3, not too bad. Alright, delete the barracks, get the market square up and running immediately. Let's get the purification chant up and running as well. Like so, especially since it's the higher powered one. You don't need a Kislevite Kassar. And take from the Skull Takers. Oh, right, this one is to sack it, right? Razor Sack Tribe Slaughter. I mean, we'll take it at tier 1. Is that actually even worth it? We get a bonus 2.4k, but then we Maybe. Maybe it'll be worth it. Not a huge deal. There we go. And now there's no corruption here, which is quite nice. You guys also all probably want to level, but we'll deal with that later. You are supposed to join the army, and I also want to double check what we have in terms of a new hag, which is half funny. Now we have a tough one available, considering all the other ones are tough in this army. Well, maybe we can get a building to get those guys up and running. As in another one of them up and running. Also, in the meantime, infantry, you're the one that's going to be Boris Ursus's caster. Infantry commander is upkeep for infantry, but also bonus weapon strength versus the quartermaster, right? I'm still inclined, even at the... this should really be minus 15% for infantry, because I still think quartermaster is just plain superior, so we'll just go supplies. Yeah. And, oh, you leveled up again. Good job, buddy. Foreman. And have you leveled up? You have also leveled up. You don't have foreman, but we can keep putting points into distribute. Wait. Okay, no, you're not at rank 12. I got excited there, and it was for nothing. How's Rika doing? Well, she's not fighting Kislev, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, you're gonna move this way since Ostankya won't be able to get you in her army until we transfer stuff, including the Akshina, which have to go to a different army anyway, so that's fine. Next up, let's take a look at... what is this? Helpit is losing a little bit of devotion, but it's fine. Keep making that cash. Carrick Doom, do we want to keep the stud farm here? I mean, I guess it'll also give us growth, why not? We'll probably replace it eventually, but not now. Ooh, I wanted to see this. So we are at plus 35%, and we are at plus 35%. Oh, so this is indeed the entire province now, meaning the Hallowed Woods are much more useful than they used to be. Lovely. All right, well... Trade Quorum, and Hallowed Weald, and Farm Estate, and Farm Estate. Economy is rising. Music to my ears, and then we'll build the town here as well. Ooh. Actually, we'll build a town... well... this is construction cost, but to the iron being leveled up to tier 3 is maybe more valuable because it's faction-wide upkeep reduction. And I see you are probably... you've got your sights set on the Temple of Heimkel, which we'll need to deal with. And we'll probably need to separate our armies now, won't we? Alright, let's do Diplo, and then let's separate the armies a little bit, then we'll take a look at itemization maybe in a couple turns. We keep getting new items, but I also want to make sure that we have the heroes, or whichever heroes need to be where they need to be, if that makes any sense. Ice Court wants a defensive alliance, and we should frankly maybe do it. The problem with this is it might get us into a war with the Draika. The good thing about this is it'll give us a bunch of vision, and vision is quite valuable. Nah, I'm gonna say do it. Plus, she can fund us a little bit with a little bit of cash. Alright, and we could go straight into military alliance, but I don't want to get drawn into a war with Draika, which is, yeah, bad. The rest of this, I believe we can ignore minus the Krakadrin thing. I think so. Oh, yeah, fine, just do the non-aggression pact. Can't guarantee which of the dwarfs will actually build useful stuff, so, you know, we'll actually tech up to useful stuff, you know what I mean? Ostland will probably get destroyed by the Fecondites, at least there's a very high likelihood of it happening, but they will still be willing to trade with us for a little bit of cash, so I think maybe we are able to still do it. Like so, and then take all their money for obvious reasons. Only 1,500, just do it. Alright, and once they die, that agreement will disappear and then we'll be good. Alright, econ is getting better. Now, the next thing. We need to trade units and figure out who's going where. Boris Ursus needs bear riders, and... I mean, we could use him to also level up other cav units. There's also that. You currently have a regular patriarch. I mean, I guess both of you will have patriarchs. Frankly, both of you will need 2 patriarchs, which reminds me, let's check patriarchs. Still... another vanguard, eh? I really don't care for the 4 leadership. It's not enough of a... it's not enough of a buff to make it worth our time. Anyway, we need to figure out how many Zargard, how many whatevers needs to be in these armies. But what hasn't changed is this. You will want to have the Streltsy in your army, not Boris, so you can have those. Then you will want to get at least 4 Kislevite warriors. Let's do this one, that's tier 3. Those Kislevite warriors will become armored Kossars, right? Keep the spider hatchlings there for now. The K-bats will probably have to go either into a different army or elsewhere. You can keep 2 of these Kislevite warriors and level them up into something else. You can have the... You know what, you keep the 2 horse archers. You can have these 3 winged hussars. But these guys will hopefully get them up into warbearer riders. Is that going to be too many? I don't know. Something like this, then we're at 1717. Alright.
Governor of Kislev's lands.
Might be too many, Zargard. I would like to get some scary, woodsy creatures in there as well. You're more or less okay. Minus the 1 regular Kossar, which feels kind of weird. I was going to turn all these guys into Akshina, but, I mean, that might still want to be the case. And these guys are going to go into a more melee Kossar heavy army with the non-shielded variant, but the shielded variant will be the guardian units for the Streltsy. Meaning, I guess what we can do is transfer this 1 Kossar to this army, and then this army will eventually transfer these to the Akshina and Spiders army. You're going to go to the Temple of Heimkel now. Like so. And then await Boris, and then you're going to stay here for a bit. And then recruit some stuff. As to what stuff, let's... Oh, you can't build the spiders here, can you? Man, okay. I really do want to do the supply line thing, though. Alright, you know what? We'll just use some Kossars for now. We'll level them up and put them into different armies. If they, you know, assuming that they survive their basic variants. You know, do some Kislevite warriors instead. Like so. We'll do 2. Maybe 3? We need space for heroes and other things in here. Although I suppose the bats aren't being too useful. Yeah, just do 3. If nothing else, we can level them and turn them into other units or whatever. Definitely not going to go with the Frozen Heart for now. And Boris... 2 turns. Okay, we're nearly there. Alright, skip. Outpost available. That's with Kislev, right? And does the building itself do anything for us? I don't remember. Not like we were looking to get other Kislevite units. Alright, so let's end the turn like this. And okay, how about... What about... Alliance, man. Come on. You want us to declare war on the Ecstatic Legions, which if we do, just like Throg is avoiding this guy, they'll just avoid all of this and go towards us, so I think we can't do this right now. But it's certainly something we'll have to keep an eye on. For now, it's on the turn. And also, alright, the quest battles. Well, as soon as Mother Ostankya is done with this... Oh, right, I just got reminded of something. You know what? We need the military structure. As in, you know what, we'll build it here. With the hag structure for things in the woods. And we'll do that. Alright, are you gonna start sailing towards us? Please do. I'd love a few more fights here and there. Serena Catron wants that military alliance, but I'm gonna say no right now. Just let her keep doing what she's doing down there until she's ready to confederate and give us all that lovely territory. Including Kislev itself and all those landmarks there. I still can't believe we got three locations from this campaign. I'm still shook. Ready for duty. Good. This guy's back up and running. Mission issue. Defeat Kura the Conqueror. Okay. Training complete. Good. You will join Boris's army. And Boris, maybe we... Or, well, I mean, you're not Boris. You know what I mean.
This is my right.
I'm going to assume that Borden Rybkin can defend this, regardless of the relatively weak nature of his army and the lack of... Oh, right. Damn, spellcasters. You're supposed to be in this army. And Boris is supposed to have a different one. I guess what we'll do, other than building the iron mine here, assuming that there's no other levels on our Ataman, which there are not, is I guess we're gonna sail you out to grab Stormvrak Mount, which will allow Mother Ostankya to sort of screw around here. Speaking of Ostankya, we'll get the Eerie Woods up and running, as well as the merchant traders. And then Ostankya, you... just short, unfortunately, of either... Wait. Huh. We can reach the Pillar of Skulls. Well, that's a question. Because if this guy goes this way, we might have to head him off with... Alright, fine. Go this way. We'll see where this guy goes. I hope I don't regret this. And then we'll send you to the Pillar of Skulls then. And we'll see what this guy does. And then you can act as scout, I guess, for now. I want to see what's going on out here. Ostankya will auto-resolve this because it's garbage. It's going to hurt our spiders, but so does everything, apparently. Occupy. These are still green territories, and I'm still happy with using them at a high rank. Ooh, +3 for markets, not for farms. Very nice. Alright, as I said, you're going to act as a scout. And I would like to summon you here at Karak Vlag, because you're going to join Boris's army like so. Then I would like to check the Patriarchs again. Nah, nothing new. You know what, they're really cheap to mill, so I think we'll actually start milling them every turn. So mill and goodbye. No Warhorse for you. You're gonna make me Warhorse. +43. Alright, good. It's still working, so... max out this hallowed wood. Ugh, it is expensive. And then max this out as well. This is our money-making province after all, and we'll probably build the money-making building here as well. As in the Ice Court one. Frozen Landing, most definitely the Market Square. This place is kind of in danger because I didn't build any defensive structures, but we're doing okay. We can deal. Skip, outpost available ignored, and I guess that's another end turn. Let's see what these guys do. And see where we want to head them off. And these guys will also probably move towards us with 2 armies, and while Boris's army could probably take care of them, the other armies very well might not be able to. Which is most definitely a concern. But it looks like they're not moving now, which is fine. Mother Ostankya gets Constructor and Bastion Nightbane. Aha, so yeah, he's gonna try to go for the Temple of Heimkel. That's fine. You are now able to reach Tribe Slaughter from here, so you will. Yes. And I think... Alright, Boris is back. Oh, yes, the construction costing. Alright, let me just see here. We could start moving Ulrika. We could send her to this army, although she's a shadow caster, eh? I'm just wondering which army to put her with. Does she buff anybody directly? Leadership for Empire and Kislev melee infantry. Well, we could put her with the melee units, I guess. Something. Yeah, no particular unit buffs. Enemy leadership reduction. Still, it could be quite interesting. Alright, fair enough. Yeah, you're gonna leave this army now. And we're gonna put the 4th Hag in here. And of course, these, well, the Golden Knight's in there temporarily. Alright. Campaign movement range +7 for some guy. No. That's only for lords. Alright, now you can auto-resolve. At least the spiders aren't damaged anymore. They are now. And occupy. Then, unfortunately... Oh, wait. I almost forgot. Oh, if we sack it, we're gonna have to waste a turn. But it's 5.6k plus 2.4k, which is pretty solid. Alright, maybe I can click it fast enough, though I doubt it. And click that. Ah, I did it. I don't manage to do it like 90% of the time, but it worked out that one time, which I'm happy with. Occupy, and then we'll have to build it right back up, which is fine. We'll deal with it. We got plenty of cash out of that. And then Pillar of Skulls, obviously go for the Market Square. Next, we got a tech. And, ooh, we got enough research to... Oh, no, it's just the surplus. I got excited for nothing. The next thing that we want to get is, well, I did want to get Obelisk Scavenger for the income from post-battle loot and the item finding or stealing, just to get the campaign movement range after. The other really useful thing is Iron Riverstone for the construction cost for all buildings. And then there's this, Imperial Efficiency, both of which will take absolute ages, but they are all very, very useful for our economy, and right now we're doing econ things. Alright. You're kind of stuck here, buddy, until we... yeah, we can't leave. Unfortunately, we're going to have to be a little bit defensive, which, fair enough, makes sense for Kislev, but still a little bit annoying. Anyway, you go here, and I was supposed to put you in this army, but oh well, we'll do it next turn. Assuming you can't actually reach him. No. That's alright. We'll do this, and there's 2 more things that I want to do here. And this is the first. Then we are going to want to replace you. For now. Huh, you'd actually be a nice recruiter since you already have the recruitment cost -5, eh? Could potentially use you as a recruitment lord. Not necessarily right now because we're about to replace you with Boris, but no, either way. Replace with Boris. Like so. Boris, you can go into regular stance, and you are certainly going to need to channel, buddy. But for now, okay, we're going to get your stuff. Resettler. Growth for all provinces, no colonization coast. Passive elemental bear regeneration, great, but we don't need it right now. Construction costs for all buildings in the territory. Let me just see here. Alright, Khan King, allegiance gained for alliances with Kislev allowed, greater tier difference, diplomatic relations, devotion, enemy leadership, all lovely. We'll go for, I was about to say Root Marcher, but let's go through his unique trait. Unique line, whatever. First, hit points, battle, healing cap, immunity to psychology, bonus versus large, buffs for warbear riders, buffs for Zargard, armor and bonus versus infantry, campaign movement range, and population surplus for newly captured settlements. And we could have used that before we captured some of the stuff, but yeah. And glorious charge and base weapon damage. Should be pretty solid. Like that glorious charge. I assume, well, I guess we can't check now. I was wondering whether the bears would normally have it or not. Anyway, we still have 11 points to screw around with. We could forego getting direct buffs and spend those points to get straight into Quartermaster, as we should still have enough points in Boris's stack to do so. And I'm willing to bet his army will still be strong enough to fight enemies. Also, how many ranks? You need to be rank 6 to become a Griffin Legion, eh? Alright, fair enough, fair enough. Cav are pretty good about doing that, but anyway, the more money we get, the better. Go figure. Root Marcher. And I'm gonna say Reassuring Presence into, I guess, 1 Devotion. You're not really gonna be recruiting. Draft Master, and then at least 3 points in Quartermaster. I guess we go straight into Renowned and Feared. I better not regret this. Quartermaster, and then 1 point in, I'm gonna say... Logistician into Renowned and Feared.
The Great Bear.
Alright. Just so his army isn't gonna be crazy expensive, because once again, we're gonna have those Zargard in here. Speaking of, you two will now become Zargard of the sword variant. I mean, I guess they're all sort of, you know what I mean. Like so. You can't be upgraded yet. You guys are supposed to become a Akshina. I think only... Wait, can you? Need rank 5. Alright, so we'll get 1 Akshina, which is going to leave this army. Just want to make sure that it leveled up. Like so. Lovely. Then you're going to enter the army. Then, the other thing. The Akshina Lord, the Druzhina, is back up and running, which is you, Perceptive. We can get you here. And you can't get into a stance, but next turn you're going to take the Bearskin Sharpshooters and the Wolf Hearts away from Mother Ostankya. And maybe 2 of the spiders, though... She doesn't need to be able to fight. You know what? You join this army for now. Oh, that's gonna make you suffer attrition. Damn it. Alright, fine. Don't join the army for now. Yeah, and they can't build the things in the woods yet, but it's a short time until we do so. Yeah. Alright, everything else I believe is good other than building buildings, so let's build buildings. 1 and Kirik Vlag will be upgraded next. Definitely the markets and Cursed City. Ah, beautiful. Alright, so definitely the Grand Market. Definitely going to ignore all this, as good as it sounds. We need to first get this structure. Goldsmith's Call is giving us construction cost faction-wide, as well as construction cost in the local province reduction. And further reduction via the stonemason's shop. And I haven't decided whether this structure will still be... Let me just see here. +1 capacity for patriarchs. Oh, huh. We don't have the +2 patriarch capacity in this variant, do we? No, I'm just going to leave it as it is. And this will be one of these, but once we have more construction cost reductions. Frankly, none of this is really anything crazy. This is nice, but we don't have any Griffin Legion as yet, so it's not super worth it as yet. Almost tempted to build like the growth building or another money building or something. We could also build the... Wait. Construction costs minus 10% for all buildings local province from the Ottoman's estate, but it is in... Whoa. What is this? Chance for Ottoman characters deployed in this province to gain a unique trait. I really wish it would say what the unique trait is, because I'm now very interested. Damn. Okay, fine. Once we get the Italo Keepers Guild up and running, we'll probably do that, because now I'm too interested. I'm invested in what the unique trait is. Alright, the rest of this is fine. And our heroes still need to be checked. Kossar Headman. Leadership on an own territory. That's terrible. Keep milling. Just keep milling. And we'll need additional Frost Witch capacity, so we will need to pick a territory to build some of those places. Frankly, Uskalak would be a good option for it, because we'll probably need to build defenses at Dorjny, Vort, and Great Skull Lakes. So as soon as we take a little bit of territory here, and as soon as we will only require 2 armies up here, we'll send 1 down to Uskalak. And I believe that's it. End turn. Alright, Bastion Nightbane, where are you gonna go? You gonna set out to sea, or are you gonna be too cowardly to do it? Huh, 127. I thought it went down to like 122 before. Am I crazy? Maybe it didn't, I don't know. And no, he's gonna be too cowardly to do it. Alright, well, good for him or not. Unusual location, hell, are you kidding me? A 4th unusual location. What is this? Character experience gain +5, all characters, Lord Recruit rank plus... Damn. Alright, now we really can't lose Help It. Might actually have to build defenses there. I really don't want to do that, but, well... Oh well. You are gonna max out Distributor, I think, because I still haven't decided on these. Well, I guess we could get the Frost Maiden capacity, so you know what, let's get the Ice Court one. It's probably more important because that will give us another Patriarch capacity anyway. So court sanctioned, though this will keep peeling further and further away from Orthodoxy support, so we'll need some of their buildings. Fortunate or unfortunate, depending on how you look at it. You, go scout into Boris Ursus's army. Ostankya, transfer your 2 Akshina to this guy. Ulrika, join this army. And Ostankya, you can reach this, meaning I think we'll actually have you leech. It's probably not a big enough army for us to bother actually fighting it, although we'll be stuck in attrition, meaning we might actually have to fight it in order to reduce the attrition. Why are we even suffering attrition here? Should we even be? I guess it's Chaos Waste attrition? Yeah, we need to get the tech that makes us immune to it, otherwise it's going to keep annoying us. Alright, fine, we'll fight that. Also, before I forget, build the Tanner's Guild, and then build the upgrade to Tribe Slaughter. Definitely the Silent Grove for additional Hag Witches, and Things in the Woods finally in 4 turns, as we've gotten a little bit too spider heavy here and too hero heavy, but it is what it is. Yeah, alright, let's fight this. I'm not going to bother with levels because it's a fairly minor army and it's not going to be too concerning to us. And there's more stuff to kill out there. I know it's low casualties, but once again, we will get screwed over by the attrition.
You know the horrors of the deep forest. You know what lies in store for those who oppose me. Take heart, for today I am on your side.
Alrighty, here we go, a minor battle against the Norskins, but on one of my favorite maps in the game. I've always loved this particular light and aesthetic that we got going on with this one, so I best be enjoying it. Anyway, we're gonna start the battle off by dropping a few spells. A Spirit Bearer, Flock of Doom, a Spirit Leech, Spirit Bearer Whiffs, unfortunately, but we got more spells. Where that came from is we wanted to take advantage of that bonus spell master we had, and by the looks of it, we did plenty of damage to the enemy army. army, we can see a bunch of their troops are down to about half HP, including their lord, who got hit with that single spirit leech with the spell mastery up. Very nasty. And that's before the charge of the rest of our troops. And here they come. The enemy gets poisoned with that slow death, and frankly, it's kind of difficult to see them, not even as much because of the poison as because of the darkness of this particular map. But all good, we probably wouldn't need to see them for too long anyway. Some of them get frozen by Nariska Lesa, who's in the center of the line, but the reason we don't need to see them for too long is because the balance of power is already 90% in our favor, and the battle is already very nearly ours. Spiders have overrun the enemy left flank in the same manner that they did the center line. And it looks like the battle is pretty much ours already. Gonna drop a couple more spells of Goulias to heal our Incarnate Elemental, which did take a few hits from the enemy javelins or throwing axes or whatever. But not so much that we can't heal it rather quickly. And just a few more enemy units of Marauders and Chaos Warriors like to overrun and devour with our spiders and, well, I was about to say things in the woods, but with only 2 of the units. They're spread a little thin at this point. But there are some here, so yes, things in the woods as well. And with that, I do believe that the enemy army quickly shatters and will give this this particular battle to us. Alright, works for me. If it wasn't for the attrition, I probably would have just auto-resolved this one, but I mean, it was an easy one, but yeah, let's not risk it. I really don't want to wait for several turns around while we heal, because we're going to be busy over the next few turns. And once again, one of my favorite maps. You gotta love this one. Very aesthetically nice. The sort of skull entrance into whatever the heck that is over there. We got the sort of ruins of a settlement. Huh. They 3 horses on top of this building. Somebody who knows things about architecture, tell me what to call that, because I don't know. Yeah. A map made with love. Alright, very nice. Post-battle rewards aren't anything to write home about. I guess we'll just take the money. Once again, we did use up quite a bit of it. After all, and we got that supply line going again. So, pardon captives. Army destroyed. We are at least still in our own territory, and at least we can channel. And the attrition shouldn't be much. Ooh, Archie's back up and running, and we haven't defeated him with Ostankya yet, so we'll see where he moves. Hello, Executioner's Axe. A very nice pickup. And why do you have an Ataman's Administrator? And how did you get that Ataman's Administrator? Ranked up in own territory? We've all ranked up in our own territory a million times, game. Why only now do we get that? How dare you? And another one. Wait.
Champion of the Motherland.
Huh? Wait. I saw it twice. Damn it. Wait. Where'd it go? Equipment gain. Vladimir Akulov. That's you. Lose that. And, oh. Actually, wait. A moment. Where's Ataman's Administrator? Don't tell me we... Okay, yeah. Construction time, -15, and then -15. I could have done it through this, but whatever. I just want to see. If we do this and then cancel this... Aha! We save a turn! Faster things in the woods. Then we'll take those away and give them both to the Atamans, because they're obviously buffing their provinces. Where are the Atamans Administrator? Oh, that's Gabrielle. Okay, I was like, what the heck? Ataman's Administrator here. And Ataman's Administrator here. Beautiful. Alright. Next up, what do we have this turn? I mean, these guys are kind of stuck unless we want to start moving Boris. I mean, frankly, we could set sail and land. Let me just see here. I mean, we were gonna transfer the Ikshina to these guys as well. We could get that Recruiter Lord up and running again. Or not. The thing is, I wanted to get some spiders up and running for the Ikshina army, and we can't build them out of the Witch's Hut. That is only for Ikshina and stuff. We'd have to build them out of this. Alright, fine. We're gonna build them... We're gonna build them here. 400 gold, eh? Well, it is what it is. We'll use you to recruit. The basic spiders are super cheap to recruit anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We can also recruit directly the giant spiders, which aren't too much expensive, but once again, I think we'll have to allow the baby spiders to become greater spiders. And oh, while we're here, maybe we'll grab a couple snow leopards as well. Not the more expensive bears and stuff. Maybe a couple for Boris, but oh, that's the beastly units that we want in Boris's army, the regular bears. Yes, okay. I was completely drawing a blank on what I wanted with his army. If anybody was yelling at their monitor, which I'm sure you do a lot, I am not sorry. Maybe a little. Anyway. We're gonna head Borodin Ribkin to the Tower of Torment, but only after these guys are dealt with, so you're gonna have to sit here for now, which means we get in another turn, that we didn't check Diplo this turn, so we're gonna do so right now. We're also rapidly running out of time today. Austin, military axis. What does Strika feel about Austin? Oh, she doesn't actually hate Austin, in fact she likes them. Go figure. Alright. I fear that they'll die, so I'm not gonna go for the full-on defensive alliance, but let's keep it friendly. Nice and friendly. 5.2 Tsarina Katrin. So close. Huh. Is this still rising? It is still rising. We might actually be able to confederate her shortly. Well, that would be really interesting if we can make it happen. At this time, I'd love to get the Golden Knight where she's supposed to go. End turn. Well, let's see what happens next turn. I suppose, if nothing else, if it's still... Let me just think about this. If it is still... Okay, wait. Rather than talking it through, we could just probably do it. Ooh, wait, Archie... I wonder if... Damn. He's got a lot of regiments around. That Bilious Thundergov is going to be a problem. And seeing Archie's army made me completely forget what I was going to say, but I'm sure it was something about something. Go figure. I guess we're going to have to go up here. Might even... try an ambush. Go right here. He might go for Pillar of Skulls, or...
Kislev needs us. Why tarry?
Go right here.
The land calls to
And then
me.
you will act as bait, sir.
Let our warriors
Like so. In decent likelihood that we can make that happen. Next turn, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Our ball is back, and I don't believe that Boris has had the pleasure as yet. And I definitely think that he should. Boris, well, I guess you're not going to wait for these guys. You're just going to set sail, although you will suffer massive attrition here, will you not? Or are you immune to it? Is Boris immune to chaos attrition? Guess we're about to find out. Can he fight both of those armies? Ooh. Maybe. Did I jump the gun a little bit on this? Maybe, but, well, Boris is immortal, so even if he dies, then he'll be fine. Alright, I'm gonna land here, you're gonna sit there, and you are not, in fact, immune. The game was just being obnoxious, not till then it was lying. Alright, fair enough. We've got that set up, I guess, for next episode, with probably 2 or 3 battles in quick succession. I'm almost tempted to try to land this guy beside Boris. Alright now. Because nobody else is moving towards Frozen Landing right now, and he's not fighting, and he does need to actually rank these guys up in order to become Armored Cossars. Maybe move them together. At least this way there's, we can guarantee that each one can sort of separate. One goes after the Norskins, and one goes after the Stormvrak Mount guys. Or possibly even attacking together if these guys keep recruiting. There we go. We'll also most likely suffer a war declaration from Astrogoth rather shortly, so we'll need to keep that in mind. I would also like to see... -7 Confederation. Now we could threaten Tsarina Katrin into it. The other option... Oh, what the heck is Drika doing? Where's she going? She's not at war with anybody. And she's not liking us for the treaties with the dwarfs. Oh no, I have a feeling. Bad feeling that we're gonna have to fight her. Which would be a shame. I'm just looking if there's any territory that we could take to give to Drika nearby her. Who owns this? The Man-Eaters, eh? We could declare war on the Man-Eaters, take the territory, transfer it to Drika, and hope that she won't be too mad about it. -100 is a lot to deal with, though. But anyway, I think, folks, I think there's no more battles to do this turn. There's a lot of admin left this turn, so I'm actually going to call this episode here. What we are going to do next time is most likely get into a military alliance with Serena Katrin, and then maybe try to declare war on a few factions in order to try to get her to join us, or to avoid the same scenario that we had to deal with here. The other option, of course, will be to just threaten her into it. Which is also a distinct possibility. Can't guarantee that she won't dislike us after this. As in, make it less likely that we can confederate. Anyway, fun episode. We get a lot accomplished, and our armies are starting to come together. I think next time, these 4 armies will all come together in their, if not final form, and then close to their final forms, which will be pretty fun. The things in the woods will be up and running. Our first snow leopards will be up and running. Gonna get some of those Akshina ambushers into that army. Maybe a couple of the frost bears or feral ice bears for Boris, and just so I don't forget, lead over now for you. And then we'll try to get that other recruiter lord to take your place once he's up and running and ready to be recruiting. Frankly, we might actually save money by getting one of these low rank 6 guys and using them to recruit instead, rather than this guy. Distinct possibility, but anyway, calling it here. More Boris to come, and hopefully next time, maybe Serena Katrin as well, and of course Mother Ostankya. So stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially to the Threshold for those longer episodes if you're into it. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.